Astha and I are going to be making some dumplings.
So this is called as momo in Nepali.
Hopefully this video is a little bit more detailed than the previous cooking video, so you guys could try it out. Hope you guys can follow along and add it to your variety of dishes at home.
So if you guys want to try it, you can try it and eat it with your family. I hope you guys will like it.
Stay safe, stay tuned. Bye!
Bye! Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment if you want to see more videos of cooking, different varieties of food.
Okay, let's get started. So the first step in the process is to prepare the dough for the wrap, and the only two ingredients you're gonna need is all-purpose flour and water. Then you're gonna let it sit for about an hour or 2 hours. Now moving on to the ingredients for the filling. Since we're making chicken momos, the main ingredient is chicken, and to add flavor, we're also gonna add cilantro, garlic, ginger, jalapeno, onion, and cabbage. So after neatly and carefully washing your ingredients, go ahead and chop them up into small pieces. Next, chop your garlic and ginger together in small pieces and then get ready to grind them. I would advise using a mortar and pestle, but since we didn't have one, we used a bowl. Once done, just put the garlic and ginger aside. Mix all the ingredients in one bowl excluding the garlic and ginger. Moving on to the spices. Since we were making about 50 to 60 dumplings, we used about 2 tablespoons of each spice. We started off with some momo masala, and then some garam masala, and then some red chili powder, because we made a batch of about 35 spicy dumplings and then about 25 less spicy dumplings. Before mixing all the spices together, remember that ginger and garlic we put aside. Now is the time to prepare it. In a frying pan, put some oil, and then when it is hot enough, put the garlic and ginger and some turmeric, and then mix it all together. Do not let it fry for too long, about 5 to 8 seconds is enough. Go ahead and mix all your ingredients and spices together. Once you have finished, put that bowl of goodness aside and let it marinate. In the meantime, we're going to start preparing our wraps. So you're going to put some oil on a plate so that the dumplings don't get stuck to the plate. Separate your dough into small sized round balls. I know my size descriptions are very vague right now, but trust me, if you do not get the size right on the first try, you will definitely get it on the second try, because that's the good part about dough. You can always go back and change the size. Then roll it out into circular shapes. Now here is my favorite part. Go ahead and put the mixture of ingredients on the wrap, and then we're going to start folding in what I call the fold and hold method. Astha is using one hand to fold, and the other hand she's using it to hold and shape the fold. Here is another demonstration from a different angle. And also, please feel free to play this in slow motion. I have always wondered how they made the shape of the dumplings, but actually it's not as hard as it looks. In the next clip, you'll actually see me folding a dumpling, and this is just from me watching Astha fold about 2 or 3 dumplings. As you can see, I try to fold with one hand, and yeah, that did not turn out great, so I would not advise that. Another tip is to try and make your folds as big as possible, because yeah, you're about to see how this dumpling turned out. Yeah, let's just say that did not turn out great. This did not discourage me, so I went ahead to fold another one. And yeah, tip number 3, if you're going to try and fold on a surface, make sure you put some oil on it so that the dumpling does not get stuck to the surface. This is the part where we show you how to make the dumplings without a steam pot. Pour some water into a pot until 80% of the pot is full, and then place aluminum foil on top of it, and then poke some holes into the foil so that the steam can pass through. The steam is what actually cooks the dumplings. Just like we did with the plate, you're going to want to put some oil on the foil so that the dumplings will not get stuck on the foil. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, your homemade steaming pot. So we just place the dumplings on top and let them cook for about 15 to 20 minutes. You're also going to see we did not have like a proper lid because, like I just said, this was homemade, so we just used like a baking pan to cover the dumplings. I don't know, for some weird reason I didn't think this was going to work, and voila! There you have it, your homemade dumplings. And they actually tasted as good as they looked. So I would 10 out of 10 recommend, if you don't have a steaming pot and you're craving some dumplings, you can totally make yourself some dumplings. We have now reached the final step of the process, and that is to make the pickle, or what I call the dipping sauce. And for this, she just chopped up some tomatoes, jalapenos, onions, and about 2 to 3 garlic cloves. She then went ahead to fry them in a frying pan with oil, salt, turmeric, and a little bit of red chili powder. I'm guessing the reason to do so is to get the vegetables soft and also just to have them a little bit cooked. We let this fry for about a good 2 minutes before we transferred all of this mixture into a blender. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, your own homemade dumplings and your pickle. We know there's so many momo videos out there, but I guess we're just craving momos. Yeah. So we hope you enjoy. As usual, thank you all so much for watching, and if you have any recommendations of what we could have done better, or if there's an easier way to do something, please feel free to leave it in the comments. Thank you!